Hi, I am Alfonso Muchacho and I am a music producer, not a YouTuber. And as a music producer, I feel compelled to tell you why I think the Waldorf Pulse 2 is one of the most underrated synths of all time. So I've had this for about 8 or 9 years now, pretty much since it came out, and I've used it in a load of tracks that I've released. So I could spend the next 10 minutes talking you through all the features of this thing, but that's really boring. So instead, I'm going to show you how it sounds. Now, just because it sits in the corner of my studio, that doesn't mean I don't use it. Far from it. I'd say second to the subsequent 37, this little synth gets the most use out of anything. It's a 3-voice analog mono synth, a bit like this one up here, but it has a few advantages. The first undeniable plus point of this synth, I think, is the raw tone of the oscillators. They just have this huge, like, bottom end, and you just can't help but generate these enormous, like, throbbing, big sounds from it. Other advantages that this synth has, yes, it's a small size, so it'll fit pretty much anywhere, and it's made of metal. And for me, the biggest one is that it has preset storage. Now, I cannot convey how much of a time saver this is. You might find some people who say they prefer not to have patch storage because it helps with creativity or some other lie. But the truth is, when you're working on multiple projects at once, or you want to go back to something you were working on a few weeks ago, preset memory is a godsend. It's not all sunshine and rainbows though. There are a few things about this synth that I don't like. The pre-made presets that come with it are very inconsistent, and they vary in volume quite a lot. Some of the patches even have all the oscillator volumes turned down to 0, so you're going through and you don't get any sound and you have to turn up the oscillator volumes, which is a very strange thing. It's not a deal breaker though, because that's just the presets that come with it, but it is a little bit odd. The filter works and sounds fine. It's got a low pass, high pass and band pass filter, and it does the job. But because it's a fully analog filter but digitally controlled, you do get a little bit of stepping. Now, admittedly, to hear this, it's a kind of put the headphones on and close your eyes and sit in a dark room, trying to listen for it. But you will notice as you go through the filter slowly, you will hear a little bit of stepping, which is kind of annoying. It does have a kind of paraphonic mode, but I wouldn't buy it for that. Basically, what I'd consider a bonus feature. This is purely a synth that does heavy bass sounds and big leads. It can do ARPs and can sound quite pretty, but you'll need to add in some effects to get it to really shine at bright, airy leads, because it doesn't have any built in. And this is the thing with all kind of budget analog synthesizers, and certainly the mono synths, they can sound quite dry. You will hear the raw tone of the oscillators and the heft, but to really make this thing sing, you're going to have to add some effects to it. If you're thinking about buying this synth and you're kind of put off by the matrix here, don't be. It's really intuitive, and I find I can pretty much get to any sort of sound that I want to create quite easily. It's certainly easier than learning some of the soft synths that I've got. So I personally think you should buy this synth, and I think it's a bargain. If you do buy this synth, make sure you're buying it for the right reasons. Buy it because you want some raw analog tone and a bottom end that's heavier than hell's heating bill.